In a future world, a zombie virus sweeps across the globe. Once thriving cities have become ghost towns. Mike hurriedly rushes home. He discovered that his daughter Roni has already been infected. She mindlessly steps on broken glass. Her eyes are wild, devoid of any reason, but Mike still puts away his gun. He tries to approach his daughter. To gain her trust, Roni suddenly lunges at him, trying to bite. Mike can only push her out of the bedroom. Then he braces the door. The zombified Roni is incredibly strong. She bursts through the door. In desperation, Mike immediately pulls the trigger. He has just killed his only family member. He is about to end his own life, to join her in death. But the gun is out of bullets. Since fate has forced Mike to live, he packs his bags and sets off, though he doesn't know if there is hope ahead. Staying in one place leads only to death. Meanwhile, a woman named Anna wakes up in an abandoned pipe on the outskirts. Not far away, a female zombie passes by. She cradles a dead baby in her arms. After the female zombie leaves, Anna continues on her way. She arrives at a cluster of residential houses. She casually breaks into an empty house, looking for food. Anna digs into a can of peanut butter, but after eating the expired can, she starts to vomit. At this moment, a group of refugees grabs her. They drag Anna into a dilapidated house. The leader Jesse had malicious intentions. He bullied Anna in front of everyone. His companions were eager to join in. Fortunately, a horde of zombies was approaching. In order to survive, they abandoned Anna and fled. Soon, the zombies arrived near the residential area. Anna carefully avoided them, dragging her injured body away from the place. The smell of blood attracted a zombie. Anna was knocked to the ground. She felt a sense of despair. In a critical moment, Mike appeared like a hero. He diverted the zombie's attention and raised his knife to strike off its head. Anna didn't express her gratitude. After all, she had just been persecuted by her own kind. She had lost trust in everyone. Seeing that Anna was powerless, without anyone to help her, she probably wouldn't survive the night. He took the initiative to invite her to join him. Upon hearing this, Anna didn't put on airs. In the apocalypse, survival was the only thing that mattered. She followed Mike. Mike explained that there might be some fortified areas in the city center, so he planned to go there and try his luck. The two exchanged information along the way. From their conversation, it was clear that most people had evacuated from the quarantine zone. Those who couldn't react were basically dead. Like Anna, who had no preparation. 2 weeks ago, she was out partying with friends. She woke up from a hangover and realized that the world had changed. Mike glanced at the slippers she was wearing. The urgent task was to get Anna a new pair of shoes. They hadn't gone far when Anna collapsed and fainted. Fortunately, she had just fainted from hunger. A little food would help her recover. The two continued their previous conversation. 2 months ago, the government first discovered cases in rural areas, but because the virus was unprecedented, before they could develop a countermeasure, the virus rapidly spread to nearby states. Now, zombies were everywhere. The higher functions of their brains had long since atrophied. They had completely devolved into beasts that could only hunt. The government had placed bombs in several zombie hotspots. This was their last line of defense, so the two had to leave this death zone. The next day, Anna woke up from a nightmare. She found Mike was not beside her. She thought she had been abandoned. She let out a desperate cry. The next second, Mike came over, questioning her why she had made a sound. What if she attracted the zombies? Mike had only gone to relieve himself. The two didn't stay long and continued on their way. Near a pile of rubble, they discovered several zombies. Mike pushed Anna aside. He raised his machete and struck down a female zombie. The rest were quickly killed by him as well. Mike had previously worked for the government, so he was quite skilled. They walked for a long time. Exhausted, they saw a vast ocean. Anna hurried over to wash herself. Mike sat on the shore listening to the radio. The military stated that the focus now was to control the pandemic and protect the uninfected population. They urged everyone to stay indoors if possible. At this moment, Mike heard footsteps. He covered Anna's mouth and hid in the bushes. 2 adult men hurried past. They were arguing about trading bullets for food. It turned out that there was a temporary trading post nearby where survivors could exchange supplies. Although Mike didn't want to take risks, he had run out of fresh water, so he took Anna over to negotiate, hoping to trade parachute rope, knives, and similar items for a little drinkable fresh water. The woman at the door called out to the one in charge. When Anna saw that it was Jesse, she quickly hid behind Mike. Jesse recognized Anna. He hinted to Mike that he could trade a woman for supplies. Mike realized that Jesse was not a good person. He called off the transaction and prepared to take Anna away. Jesse refused to let them pass. Mike shoved the handgun into Anna's hands, giving her a chance to take revenge herself. But Anna did not have the courage to pull the trigger. She even stopped Mike from killing the woman. Mike urged Anna to go into the cave and see for herself. These people were not worthy of pity at all. A naked woman lay on the ground, clearly having suffered inhuman torment. Anna finally suppressed her feelings of pity. She charged out and shot Jesse. Mike took the opportunity to find her a pair of fitting shoes. The body would attract nearby zombies, so it was not safe to stay here long. The two left without stopping. They made a fire in a hidden spot to rest. Mike knew Anna was feeling complicated right now. After all, she had just killed someone. Even in the apocalypse, killing was not an easy thing to do. In the evening, Mike woke up from a nightmare. He did not reveal that. He often recalled the feeling of killing in his dreams. He repeatedly remembered the sensation of taking a life. Anna was tired of walking. She asked Mike why they didn't get a vehicle. Mike explained that in the sky, there were government drones and satellites. They were monitoring the area to find local insurgents, like Jesse's gang from before. If they were spotted driving by the government, they would surely be shot on sight. They wouldn't care who you were. Hearing this, Anna could only continue on the road. She asked Mike for self-defense tips along the way, so that she wouldn't be defenseless if they encountered zombies again. Anna's thinking was very correct, because soon after, they encountered zombies. Fortunately, there were only two of them. Mike had no intention of confronting them. Instead, he hid in the shadows and waited for the zombies to move on. The two quickened their pace. At night, they dared not light a fire carelessly, fearing it would attract enemies' attention. But in the darkness, there were eyes watching them. In the silent night, not even a single insect chirped. Mike suggested to Anna that someone was following them. It was likely someone hungry, looking for something to eat. Since the follower made no aggressive moves, Mike chose to ignore them. That night, he took out a photo of his daughter, and, with a heavy heart, glanced at the sleeping Anna. The next morning, Anna was awakened by the sound of zombie growls. Mike was holding a live zombie, letting Anna practice in a real-life situation. She quickly reacted and killed the zombie, but she was angry at Mike's actions. If she hadn't reacted in time, she could have been bitten to death. In fact, Mike had good intentions. Anna's level of alertness was too low. If he couldn't watch over her all the time, anyone could come out of nowhere and potentially harm Anna. She had to grow up quickly and not rely on Mike for everything. One day, Mike handed Anna a pair of pliers to help him pull out a decayed tooth. After all, given the current conditions, they couldn't expect to find a dental clinic. As they huddled around a campfire for warmth, they suddenly heard the sound of zombies approaching. They quickly extinguished the flames and fled. Anna dashed into the woods, seeing someone being bitten by zombies along the way. She dared not stop, yet despite this, she was intercepted by an enemy. Anna fumbled to draw her knife. She struck hard at the enemy's ankle. Mike stabbed a zombie through its chest. The two fled the area infested with zombies. All night long, in front of them appeared a stone wall and a cave. Though climbing over the wall was the safest option, they hadn't eaten for a day, and simply didn't have the strength to climb, so they had no choice but to risk entering the cave. As they walked halfway, the flashlight ran out of batteries. Mike cracked open a glow stick. He saw zombies lurking at the cave entrance, hesitant to enter. Clearly, there was something inside the cave that frightened them. Fortunately, Anna and Mike didn't encounter any danger. The cave only had some bats. They proceeded along the dirt slope. At the back of the cave, they encountered a little girl in the woods. Anna immediately chased after her. Unexpectedly, the girl ran very fast. She dove into her mother's arms. Beside the mother and daughter stood a totem-carved wooden pillar. The next second, two men grabbed Mike and Anna respectively. They were taken to a nearby house. Each was led into a temporary bathroom to wash up. Strangers observed them through plastic sheeting. This wasn't some kind of perverse kink. They just wanted to confirm whether Mike and Anna had any bite marks. After they cleaned up, they followed a woman named Helen to meet the local leader Hayden. This place was called the Garden. The entrances and exits were guarded. Only those who were not infected could enter. Survivors living in the garden consider each other as family. Hayden had ordered someone to set up tents for them. He also had Eliza show Anna around. They would all gather again for dinner. Mike was different from Anna. He was filled with suspicion about this place, and Hayden clearly noticed this. He explained that everyone in the garden was equal. Although I am the one in charge, I will not force anyone to stay. If you're not satisfied, you can leave at any time. On the other side, Eliza took Anna to claim their tent.
Hayden insisted on nothing but the best for our guests.
You and Hayden are together?
Monogamy is the old society's way of...
Although Anna found it strange, the stability of life was too tempting. So when Mike suggested leaving that night, Anna completely didn't understand what he was thinking. Why would they leave this paradise behind? To run out and get eaten by zombies? Mike explained that utopias simply didn't exist, especially since they were still in an apocalypse. There had to be something fishy about this so-called garden.
We can eat and sleep, and then in the morning, if you still want to leave, then we can talk about it.
In the afternoon, everyone gathered for a meal. They only served vegetarian food here, because meat could easily carry viruses. Before dinner began, Hayden gave a speech first. It was just some feel-good talk about unity, peace, and friendship. Mike scoffed at this. Anna found it very appealing. She quickly bonded with several women. As night fell, Anna was about to go into the tent to rest, but Mike pulled her aside, insisting that they leave, under the cover of darkness. But Anna had already been enchanted by this place. She refused to leave no matter what. She believed Mike was simply obsessed with a bloody life of killing. They argued loudly, due to their differences in opinion. In the end, Mike decided to leave on his own. Meanwhile, Anna adapted quickly to life in the garden. The people here were very friendly, until one day, the little girl coughed. Everyone's expression turned grim. Helen approached Anna privately, and quietly said, "Be careful." The next day, Anna saw the girl's mother crying. Soon after, Hayden took her to tour the communications center. The radio equipment here, most of the time, had no sound. Occasionally, they could hear some poor survivors calling for help in the bomb shelter. With makeshift equipment, Hayden meticulously introduced Anna to the garden, hoping she would find a sense of belonging here. As the man spoke, he began to get touchy. Anna instantly recalled her past humiliations, and instinctively resisted intimacy. Eliza saw Anna walk out of Hayden's trailer, and felt very jealous inside, but she had to pretend to be friendly on the surface. She poured Anna a cup of tea, and urged her to drink it. Unexpectedly, Anna suddenly began to cough. In the evening, Helen crawled into Anna's tent, to warn her that she needed to leave quickly. As Helen turned, she bumped into Eliza. The next second, she was pulled away with a hood over her head. Then Anna was yanked out of the tent as well. She was tied up in a room, wrapped in plastic by Eliza. It turned out that, to prevent disease from infecting the garden, anyone who coughed would be dealt with. The little girl had already been burned to death. Beneath her fine robe, there were indeed lice everywhere. At the same time, the person who had been silently following Mike finally revealed himself. When he saw Mike alone, however, Mike reacted quickly, and immediately drew his weapon to fight back. Perhaps Anna was right. He did enjoy killing, and relished this brutal, restless life. But Mike saw Anna as a daughter, and couldn't bear to leave her behind. So he went back to the garden alone. He quickly learned from the mother of the deceased girl the true nature of the garden. Eliza was about to burn Anna alive. Mike finally arrived at the scene.
You folks want to let that girl down right this second?
Hayden could become the leader, which showed he was quite capable. The two fought back and forth. Meanwhile, Eliza took the opportunity to pour gasoline on Anna. She slipped and nearly fell. Anna quickly tightened her grip around Eliza's neck. On Mike's side, he finally gained the upper hand. He landed several punches on Hayden, and twisted Hayden's wrist, slicing his throat. At the same time, Anna desperately choked Eliza to death. Mike stepped forward to help her break free from the chains. He carried the exhausted Anna out of the garden. Poor Helen had already been executed, and Anna's body was growing weaker. She had indeed been infected with the virus. Just as Eliza said, it was estimated that in about 24 hours, she would turn into a zombie. For safety's sake, Mike tied Anna to a chair. Her pupils were gradually fading. Mike took out a book he always carried, and read it to Anna.
My dad, he never read me bedtime stories. Too busy, I guess.
A few zombies interrupted the tender scene. They had completely surrounded the factory. Anna urged Mike to free her, so she could distract the zombies, and help Mike escape from this place. Although this plan was indeed feasible, Mike refused to untie Anna, because she was on the brink of turning into a zombie, and could lose control at any moment. Anna could feel the zombies outside, calling to her. It was a resonance among kindred beings. she didn't want to become a bloodthirsty monster. Anna pleaded with Mike to kill her. Mike had once killed Ronnie with his own hands, and now he had to let go of his second beloved daughter. He chose not to use a gun, but instead held Anna and twisted her neck. Surprisingly, Anna didn't die immediately, but let out a zombie's howl. In anguish, Mike could only shoot her in the head to end it. At the end of the story, Mike opened the roll-up door, ignoring the zombies around him. He walked toward the sun. The film ended here. An obscure, low-budget zombie film even lacked information about the director or screenwriter in the credits. There were only the names of 4 actors. Among them, the most famous is Dominique Swain, the leading actress of Lolita. Unfortunately, time has caught up with her. If I hadn't seen her name in the credits, I wouldn't have recognized her as that enchanting and sexy beauty. Swain, who once lay on the grass, wearing braces, had captivated countless viewers back then. Now, she can only appear in low-budget films. It's truly lamentable. As for the film itself, there isn't much to say. It's an artsy zombie road movie. The action scenes are usually subpar, and the dramatic scenes don't reach a decent standard either. Thus, the overall viewing experience is lacking. If you enjoy my channel, please click subscribe.